I'm a ninja, like a shadow in the dark. Perfect mixture, strength, stamina, and heart. Never give up, always finish what I start. In a battle you will see me rip a challenger apart. I gotta win, I refuse to lose. That's about the only thing I refuse to do. I'll give blood, sweat, and tears to reach my goal. I'm focused now, remain in complete control. I know it's mind over matter, I ain't feeling no pain. Go hard or go home, man, this isn't a game. This is what I live for, the very reason I train. So when they speak about the greats, they can mention my name. And I could say, I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja.
What up, my ninjas? Chris Wachowski here with your second to last episode of Ninja Lab right before the finals. So, this past weekend we had two events going down, a sweet doubleheader. We had some action from TA Fitness and we had some action from Core Komplex. So we're gonna dive right into the action and we're gonna talk about what happened this weekend and what the final standings are for the NNL. So first one we're gonna go through is gonna be Allyssa Beird. Now she got third place at TA Fitness, so let's take a look at her run. So you can see here she had a huge jump to start off. It's really cool to have those big jumps. Now moving through the balance was a little trickier static balance. Now the steps were tricky. They had them set up in a funky pattern. They really relied. You can see here she almost loses her balance but was able to kind of wrap that heel back around. Now going for this last step here, you can see she jumped, she kind of just slips off. It looked like a really tricky obstacle, really hard to do, but it was good enough to get second place, so congrats Allyssa. Next up we have our first place runner, Jessie Labreck. Now Jessie Labreck has been dominating all season, so let's take a look at her run. You can see starting off with a huge jump, really easy for her. Now using those long legs to make her way through the steps and then onto the cargo climb. And now this obstacle was really tricky. It was the bridge to the trampoline to this floating door sideways. You can see her lining it up just right, gets a good bounce and catches, and then going towards the dismount, she actually ended up doing something that she wasn't supposed to and getting disqualified, but she had a pretty solid run. She showed some strength and she showed some balance. Excellent workout there, Jessie. We're gonna stay at TA Fitness and now we're gonna jump over to the guys side of the action. So we have John, Alexis, or Alexi, something like that. His nickname is the Giant and this dude is huge, like really, really, really tall. So let's take a look at his run. You can see here he's on the hourglass drop type obstacle, takes a bounce and catches it, really focusing to keep those feet up above and then landing on the tire, staying stabilized. Now making easy work of this, using those long limbs to help him out on the ring toss right here. And now you can see he got a little bit tricked up, he got kind of crossed up, wasn't really sure what to do. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna go backwards through it. That's a really smart move right there, getting him through the obstacle. And now he's walking the bar along, and you can see this obstacle is really tricky, just a slight misplacement and then he's knocked out. That was an awesome run, it was good enough to get you second place, so congrats, Giant. Last up we have our first place runner, Joe Dubuc. Now Joe crushed this course, he moves super fast. Let's take a look at his run. You can see making quick work of the steps. He moved through much quicker than the other people that we saw here. And, you know, making good time here. Getting onto the cargo net, you know, gathering it up and moving onto the hourglass drop where he catches and makes a solid dismount right here. And the camera loses him a little bit, but now we're going back to the ring toss where you can see again another tricky dismount, kind of angling to the side. You can see him making that gap. And now this balance obstacle looks really, really tough. You can see him wobbling and shaking a little bit there. He had to carry a PVC pipe, which I'm assuming was filled with some type of water or liquid that's gonna move when you move. You can see he's really flexing, trying to hold it together. But he's got good balance here. He's able to make that drop down, and he's looking solid going through this. Now moving on to this obstacle, I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's a really tricky one. And he's moving his way through solid though. You know, knocked the tennis ball off right there. And now this dismount to another really tricky obstacle is the PVC that's gonna spin when he catches it. So he's gotta catch it with that reverse grip. Good job there, man, Joe. And now he's going on to the next one, another one that's gonna roll on him, catching it with that reverse grip again. And then he's got a dismount, so he's going on to the dismount. You can see he's aiming for that Pokeball over there. By the way, props on the Pokeball, really cool stuff. And you can see, nice easy dismount, maintains his balance. Now moving on to the next one, he's got to get on top of this mushroom, and you can see as soon as he steps on, he steps right off. That obstacle is really hard to balance on. Kind of reminded me of Snake Crossing, which was a really tough obstacle. So I know you struggled there, Joe. So awesome run though. Congrats on getting first. Now let's jump over to Core Komplex. So at Core Komplex, we had a really big turnout there. A lot of awesome competitors. We're actually going to go right into the males action first. So we're gonna take a look at second place finisher, Michael. So let's look right at his run. Starting off with this crazy steps here going into this balance obstacle. Really tricky, really parkoury. I absolutely love it. I think this is a great obstacle. You know, you have to use that speed, balance, and coordination to start off. Now this was the second obstacle, a really tough second obstacle. You have to go through the UFO disc. To be honest, that's really impressive. These discs are no joke. You can see Michael getting a crazy spin back and forth and then catching it finally. Now moving on, he's got the tire flip going. I love these feats of strength. And then right into the wall, so he's gonna be a little tired going into that wall. And now moving on, lots of upper body on this course. You can see him going through the devil steps and then right over to the unstable bridge. And you can see him a little hesitant on the swing there, but then, you know, catching it solid. Now this is a really tricky part. He's got to go to this rocket thing, and you can see he catches it. Awesome job. He's going to show control. Now this, another tricky balance obstacle. Core Komplex seems to have a lot of tricky balance obstacles combined with tricky upper body obstacles. And you can see Michael making his way through there, looking solid. Now moving on to the salmon ladder, you can see he feels right at home. Check out that speed. Doing really well, and going on to the ropes next. Now this part was tricky. He didn't really know. You could tell he wasn't quite sure where he needed to go coming off of it or what he could touch. But once he got the hang of it, he's just coasting. Look at him making quick time through these bars here. Now you gotta remember, he's pretty pumped. He's already done a number of upper body obstacles, and now going on to this crazy bar maze where he's turning around, spinning. He's got to hit laches in between tape. Definitely looking really tough, but he's making his way through and finishing solid with this last lache right here. So excellent work there. Now moving on to the slack line. Slack line is just a straight up difficult obstacle. It's like the slack ladder except more difficult, but Michael makes quick work of it. And then these going right into the pipes, you know, just upper body obstacle after upper body obstacle. You can see he's got to be taxed now at this point. Really though, you know, fighting his way through this, getting up there and resting before going on to the devil steps and then onto this different version of the pegboard. You can see he's taking the hole with him and kind of sticking it in like an outward peg. But you can see he's just pumped, and you know that thing's got to be rotating in his hand. But that was a really impressive run on a really tough course. So excellent job, Michael. Up for the guys, we have Josh Cook. He was the #1 finisher. I didn't expect anything less from this guy. He's a really talented athlete. So let's take a look at his run. The footage is a little bit choppy, so you see some glitches here and there. Try to ignore it, it's some cool footage. You can see him starting off here, going through the steps, and he goes right into that balance obstacle, really showing off his lower body strength. Now using the leg here to get a nice hook on the cargo net, saving some energy there. Now this is a cool rock hold thing where you have to balance on both sides. Moving on to the tire flip, he's making it look effortless. He's just like, oh, I guess I have to do this, okay. Then moving on to the wall, looking really strong. Again, showing up that lower body strength. Now look at how quick he is. He's not matching. He's going hand over hand all the way up. Onto the balance obstacle again, making easy work. Now going up, now look at this rapid fire. Again with the speed on the salmon ladder. Athletes seem to be getting really comfortable going up this salmon ladder. Now going on to the slack line. Again, this could be a really tricky obstacle. You can see he's having a little bit of difficulty on it, but he's recovering and he's still moving quickly. His pace is great. So that's all the footage that we have for Josh Cook. The rest of the run, I'm sure was really impressive. It was good enough to get him first place. So congrats, Josh, on getting first at Core Komplex. So that does it for the men's side of the action. Now we're gonna be jumping over to the women's side of the action. We're taking a look at Lindsay's run. So let's take a look at how she did. Lindsay's showing off the lower body strength here, crushing it through the steps and then right into the balance, looking really quick. Now going on to this disc obstacle. This disc obstacle looked really tough. I looked at this and was like, wow, this is a really tough second obstacle. You can see her, she's trying to build up swing. She's doing a good job of keeping those hips square throughout the entire time. And then gets this nice jump. Just can't quite hold on, but it was good enough for third place. Really tricky course when you're fighting for third place on the second obstacle, but excellent work out there. That does it for third place We don't have first place's run, but we're gonna look at second place's run. Now, second place is probably one of the most impressive runs. So here we have Rachel Brown making her way quickly through that first obstacle, and then a huge jump onto the disc. Now, Rachel Brown has been doing well all season, ever since she won that first comp at MLab Ohio, way back in the beginning of the season. You can see her building up her swing, keeping those hips square, really, you know, fighting and staying strong throughout this entire course. And look at that catch. Most people fell there. She was able to make it. And now look at the fight in her. She's still building up her swing. She's definitely a phenomenally strong upper body athlete. You can just see the strength and the perseverance as she's making her way over to that cargo net. She's turning a little bit here, but now she's gonna get her hips re-squared and make that catch. Excellent job, Rachel. Moving on to this variation of a rock climbing wall. It's all campus, you get all upper body, jugs, but still you have to make your way through, and she's doing just that. Now look at this tire flip. This tire has to be like twice her weight, and she's just chucking it. You know, taking a little break here, resting the forearms a bit before she goes into the next one. She's gonna have to do this 4 times right before the wall. You can see her, she's good form lifting with her legs. Moving onto the wall, you can see her almost getting to the top. So she's almost there, and then you can hear the crowd chanting for her, you know, beat the wall, and you know, I'll just let you look at the run. I'll let you look at the run. It's really cool to hear. So Rachel can't quite get it, but congratulations from Bobby, her coach. Her other coach, Travis, I'm sure if he could have been there, he would have loved to congratulate her too. She did phenomenal out there. Excellent job, Rachel. With that second place finish, you're going to be ranked one of the top girls in the NNL finals. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in the championship. Excellent work this entire season. Really, really phenomenal effort. So that does it for us here at Ninja Lab. Next week, probably sooner than next week, we'll be releasing a preview video. So the preview video is going to contain little sneak previews on what to expect for stage 1, what to expect for stage 2, what to expect for stage 3. And then it's also going to go through a preview of some of the top athletes in the competition. So it's definitely something that you're not going to want to miss out on. So remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can make sure that you don't miss that video. It's going to be really, really important, especially if you're an athlete competing. Other than that, I got nothing for you guys. I am Chris Wachewski, and as always, peace out, my glib globs.